What were you thinking at that time, actually? I want to know what you were thinking.
I wanted to know, if I'm being honest, if there was if there was the possibility of linking up.
Instead of what do you bring to the table, it should be what is your relationship with money. Only two things makes my husband excited. They both start with S. Soccer and sex.
Guys, listen. I like my woman satisfied.
Hey, you want a repeat customer, right?
Repeat customer.
We say we're serving each other. If you want a repeat customer,
You gotta come back. You don't come here and I shower now.
You know, if you want the maximum output, you gotta have the maximum input.
Some
right?
people don't care about maximum output. Hello.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back to
Welcome.
the Insync Marriage Podcast.
Yes.
So good to have you guys back.
Well, today we are so excited because we have another set of our friends here today in our studio, and we can't wait for you guys to meet them. Let me see, babe. Who we have today? Who we got?
Listen, these guys that we have are very dear to us, but they have such a unique story. They have such a unique perspective, and we figured this is the perfect time to bring them on. I'm going to stop talking and just go ahead and introduce them.
Well, we have Lauret and Tosin Odesanya. Yay!
Hey, guys.
Hey guys, it's good to be here.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thanks for having
Good
us.
to have you
Yes,
guys.
we're so excited to have you guys. Today, we're definitely going to be talking about a lot, but most of all, the purpose for today's call, is a call. Did I just say call? I sure
did
did.
say call.
That's because I'm using my
We're
phone.
always on Zoom.
Always on a Zoom call. Yeah, the purpose of today's call is no. Today's podcast today is going to be about building a united marriage while honoring family relationships and thriving, demanding careers. Y'all, these people, one of the reasons why we definitely reached out to them and one of the reasons why we wanted them to come on the podcast, and I think I've been telling you guys that for over a year, at least 2 years. It's been a while. I've been telling you guys that even before we started the podcast,
Yes,
actually.
yes.
I was like, when we start a podcast, I'm going to have you guys on here. We're going to have you guys on here because the world has to hear what they have to say. Honestly, I don't know why they are
What
not.
she has to say.
Nah, what both of y'all have
We're going to find
say,
out if that's
man.
true very soon.
I'm telling you. No, don't
He
mind
has
Tosin.
a lot to
Tosin has
say
a lot
too,
to
so
say. Oh,
he
yeah,
does.
Tosin. He's my namesake. So, yes, Tosin boy, Tosin girl.
So we have two Tosins in the
Yes.
studio today.
Two Tosins in
All
the
right.
studio, and yes, don't mind him. He's doing like quiet. If you talk, you can't talk. I'm gonna go back to, I don't remember how many years ago it was. Yeah, we've known each other for about 7 to 8 years. Met in church. We keep telling you guys, man.
And I remember exactly how we met too. Like I remember the
All right,
moment
tell it. I
so
wanna hear
it. Tell
vividly.
the
I
story.
want to hear it.
This was when New Covenant House was still JHD, of course, and then I think it was our maybe our first month at JHD, and we used to do this thing back then where like we would have like a gathering for everyone, first timers, second timers,
Yes.
so we met like in the room.
The new members
Yes.
event thing.
Yeah, and
Was it like meet the leaders or something or something like that?
Yes, yeah. And you guys came up to us, welcomed us, and that was
Really?
yes, I remember that so well. Like
Wow.
you guys introducing yourselves, and then shortly after that, I joined service management, and of course, you were my lead.
And Tosin was probably like, why are these guys bothering us?
No, I just remember you singing. That's all. So.
Oh, you remember me saying? Tosin has always been. Tosin used to be quiet. He'd be quiet. I know he's not quiet.
He's not far from
But he
it.
quietly observes is what it
gentleman.
is.
He does
shaking
observe,
it.
yeah.
Say what? Oh, okay. Yeah, we definitely served together, and that was what
Yes.
sort of built a
Yeah.
relationship, a friendship.
Yes.
I'll never forget Mariah calling me your boss. Remember?
Wait,
No,
what?
your boss is calling.
Seriously? Like how? I'm confused.
Service
'cause-
management, like you
Oh.
was the lead, yeah.
Because I was the lead and we served together and we would talk all the time. And one time she goes, your mommy, your boss is calling. Lauret is like, my boss. Yeah, so
That's
I
funny.
mean, I tell people all the time because this season, one of the things we're honing in on is community and the importance of community and why we shouldn't, we were not made to do life alone and definitely not marriage alone.
Yeah.
So we are trying to bring different perspectives on the different people that touch our lives. And in y'all's case, and I said it earlier, I was like, I think it's an assumption, but I know it's not. Now I know it's not an assumption because y'all validated my thought process. And it's because I feel like it's loud, obvious, clear. You have to be blind not to see it. That you guys have a great relationship with your extended family.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to tell. We wanted y'all. We wanted to come because that's not something everybody has.
Definitely not something you see
It-
every time.
look.
Matter of fact, most people that we encounter have the opposite of what you guys have.
Absolutely.
Something has happened at some point that has just made, especially in this side of the world, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people where families used to be really close, used to be tight. Something happens, somebody moves,
Distance.
and it just falls apart.
Yeah.
And somehow you guys have been able to
Hold it
weather
together.
that
Yeah.
and still hold it together. So it'll be really nice to share. that
That's
story.
really what we want to dig into.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes. So real quick, before we get into the nitty gritty and the meat of all the questions, let's start with question 1. Babe, you want to ask it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to look at the what's it called? Introduce yourselves to our audience, people who are curious to know who you are, what you do for a living, all of that stuff.
All right. So
Try not to make it sound like a job interview.
Yeah, no. I'll try not to. I am Lauret Odesanya. I've really been thinking about how to answer this, which is crazy. I am different aspects to me. A mother to 2 kids. Our children are 13, going on 14, 12 going on 13. So we're in a stage right now where we're navigating pre-teens / teens.
Yeah.
I'm wife, of course, to Tosin Odesanya. And the last few years, stepped into a role of being an entrepreneur, which has been just an amazing journey. I'm learning so much about myself, and it's just been fun. But I do manage 3 coffee shops now. And counting.
Shout out! You just first of all, please a round of applause because you just said that.
3.
For those who don't know, first of all, entrepreneurship is not.
It's not easy.
It's
is
not.
hard.
It's not beans.
No, it
It's
is
not
not.
beans.
And you're not only doing 1,
No.
but 2 and 3 locations.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
And there's one thing, you know me. That's kind of my space. I saw the journey. We had a conversation at y'all's living room. I remember
right.
when the contract just got put in place
Yes.
for this, and to see it now play out, I'm so proud.
Thank you.
So proud
Oh
of
man,
you.
yes,
you, thank you,
yes.
thank you.
Always seems impossible until it's
Until
done.
it's done.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's Lauret.
Yes.
Who's Tosin?
Well, so I'm Lauret's husband. That's easy. So and obviously Mariah and Dami's dad. And I'll just say this. I mean, I think my entire life, the easier way to put it is that I'm all about change. I'm all about innovation, and that's what I do for a living, and in supporting even what Lauret does as well.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
love it.
So
Very
these
short
people
and
are busy, you guys. I don't know how much y'all are gonna pay because to get them here, it was not easy. You know what I'm saying? These are busy people, but thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys coming on.
You make time for what's important.
Hey,
Clock. I love that.
All right, awesome. So you guys, you both are clearly leaders and like we said, an entrepreneur and demanding schedules. I can imagine. How do you find balance?
I mean, there's no balance. I mean, that's probably the easy that you.
I didn't expect you to say that, but please expand.
I'll just say, I mean, you have to. It's all about prioritization. So and knowing the highs and lows, knowing when you're not giving enough, knowing when you need to give more, and that goes with work, that goes with life, that goes with family, that goes with the kids. I also think there are roles, right? So we always joke sometimes that's not my department. So like right, and literally I've had to say that. I think the first time maybe those words were uttered, or maybe I uttered those words. I don't think that Lauret loved, hearing
No,
it.
we got that from the
Church.
Yes,
It was church.
Was it?
We're in Bentonville,
the
Arkansas.
Davids,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So this older couple and they were talking.
I don't think they
and
would
in
like to be called elderly.
Just call them
Yeah,
out.
they're not that much older, but they're having a conversation. I don't even remember what the conversation was about, but then something came up and the wife looked at the husband and was like, "That is not my department." And we just always after that, both of us held on to that. So we're having conversations like, "Oh no, that's your department." That's
Okay. I love it.
But
I love it.
I'll give it a very simple example about that, right? So, I think probably throughout maybe the first 10 years of our marriage, Lauret was the one taking the kids to school, picking up the kids from school. And I rarely ever had to. And because oftentimes by 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I'm out the door, I'm in the office, right? So, and this was pre-pandemic. But I think when she started the entrepreneur journey, the roles kind of reversed.
Oh, yeah.
That she was out the door very early in the morning, sometimes 4 a.m. in the morning. And I had to take the kids to school. And in trying to figure it out, many times, and it's interesting because I want to give the kids utmost attention, but I can't, because oftentimes I'm on a call with India or in Philippines or in New York, right at 7 a.m. in the morning. So dropping them off at school, I'm on a conference call, say hi to the kids, and that's just, so there's really balance, I think, and it's all about actually explaining what's going on and having understanding of what each person is going through at a given time.
Ooh.
Sounds to me like perfect partnership, actually.
Yeah.
It really
I won't
is.
call it perfect, but
Hey, you're still together, so for me that's
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
right? Because the fact that it hasn't broken you, it may be causing small cracks, but it hasn't
gets
broken
tough.
you.
But I feel like both of us, and I always say this, Tosin and I, we balance each other out so well. I feel like even with raising the kids, things that are my weaknesses are his strengths. Things
love
that are
that.
his strengths are my weaknesses.
I
So
love that.
somehow, and even it's crazy because even in moments where it's something that's a weakness for me, he somehow, or something that's a strength for me, I had that reversed. Sorry, if it's a strength for me, but in that moment, it's
You
a
just-
weakness,
yes.
he automatically just picks up and it's a strength for him. So we just always somehow balance each other out
You just-
very well.
You juggle.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love it. Yes.
And y'all morph. It sounds like y'all have morphed well. When the tables turn or things change, there's no resistance to adjusting to help the other person in that
Yes.
season. It's not like firm assigned roles.
Yes.
Because that's what you find in some marriages where when I'm not pivoting, I'm not evolving, I'm not going to adjust
this
because
is
you
the way
said
I
that
am.
I was the one
Yeah.
that was going to cook. So why do you now, or we've said that
Yeah.
you're the cook. Why should I have to cook?
yeah, I heard this a long time ago, and I usually often say it at work, but I think it applies at home. It applies everything like that. If you're not flexible, you snap. So literally, if you got a wood and it's not flexible, bendable, it'll literally break it apart. So I think with that, right? So you always got to adapt, and I think, and this is interesting. And probably not somewhere I was even thinking about going, but I think about maybe the beginning of our marriage, when we said, hey, we're going to get married, and we were going through premarital counseling. One of the key things that we talked a lot about was our North Star, right? And then I don't know where I saw it, but there was a plaque I remember seeing that said, love is not to people looking at each other, but to people looking in the same direction, the same vista.
Love it.
So, at the end of the day, we at least anchor on a North Star. And with that, right, you can ebb and flow along the way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
And one thing you mentioned earlier was the communication part, right? Mm-hmm. In order for you to do what you just said, you have to communicate along the way, because we're always talk about flexibility, right? Priorities are always going to be changing. Things are always you went from working in corporate America to owning your own business. I can only imagine what that transition looked like. We have to talk through these things. We have to
We
communicate.
don't
so
always.
We know.
I'll be real. I think
please.
we actually just had this conversation this week because I'm not great at let's talk about it, right, and let's I think sometimes I'm feeling my way, or I'm like, you know what, it'll go away. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. So, and
I didn't know that about you.
That is crazy. I would have pick.
I struggle with it.
opposites.
I mean, I just especially. I mean, because I mean, sometimes just like, I don't know. Like I'm not dwelling on it. I mean, and oftentimes the most recent argument that we had, which was like I don't even want to talk about it because it shouldn't have been an argument. It shouldn't have been anything that should have blown up. But I mean, I just for me, it's like when she asked me, well, do you know? I didn't even remember what happened.
But we weren't speaking, which is crazy. So like I think for him, and which like I think I tried to tell myself like, maybe it's his personality, right? Like we have arguments and it's like, okay, give him time. He's not the type of person that wants to talk about it right away. Like if we have an argument, like I want to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
But I think over the course of like being married, I've learned like, okay, he needs space. But then I start struggling with, okay, how much space is too much space? At some point you should have come to me to say something. But for him, he just wants it to go away. Like, let's not talk about it. And then it drives me crazy because randomly he will just come and just bring up like a random conversation. Oh yeah, so did you know this is
like,
going
no,
on?
we
Like, what?
Funny enough, the two got again. Tosin, I'm finding out how much
You
we
guys
are
are
alike,
so alike.
right?
It's ridiculous.
The two guys sitting here, we're on the same page.
Nah.
Sometimes it's like, why do we need to sit on certain things?
It's not sitting on it. I think it's addressing it because for me, and I don't know about this for you, Tosin, it doesn't go away for me. Like, let's acknowledge it, talk about it, because if we don't,
It'll happen
I mean,
again.
I will move on. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's my husband. I love him. We'll have conversations, move on. But then it's still at the back of my head. And so all that's happening is that when another thing happens and we brush over it again and we move on, it keeps building up and then we get to a point where I blow up and I'm blowing up over something that might be so little, but then it's not that thing.
not
It's
that
the
big.
moment
It's the build-up.
blowing up. It's the
build-up.
build up that has gotten me there, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
I think Lauret just perfectly explained the difference between what goes on in a woman's mind and what goes on in a man's mind. Because for me, I'm looking for peace, right? And in my pursuit for peace, I'm okay with just patching
Silence.
things up.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the
Yes.
silence sometimes. Like,
Yes.
let's just not deal with it,
I'm
right?
shaking my head.
But it makes
I can't.
you're shaking your head, but because this is what happens in our ends.
Yo,
Like,
the same argument y'all having, probably the same one happening in our home. Because Sami's idea of peace is just not talking
Yes.
about stuff. And I'm like, that's
Just
not
move
peace.
on. No, it is not.
Which to an extent, especially given I mean, you counsel a lot of people. There are times I'm sure, that I've had to even call you and we had a conversation. I mean, I just it's interesting like our perspective and many times I think for me maybe the intersection of work and marriage and relationships, right? All I do every single day, 16 hours a day, is make decisions, assess things, argue points out, so at home sometimes and I think maybe going back to the point of balance, right, is like I do think that we all have to be careful of like not being so drained in what we do that we don't even have the energy.
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
please speak on that.
I'm glad he said that because I think for me, what gets me frustrated sometimes is that I do see him, at work, talking, and he's great at what he does. But then when it comes to our marriage, I'm like, okay, I get
Bring
that.
that
I'm
same
like,
energy.
bring
Oh
the
my
energy. Yeah, like, because, and as women, right, we can get emotional. So the way I'm seeing it is like, okay, so is work more important than our marriage because you'll give passion to what you take important, or are you just like, skimping over this because you think, okay, it's the marriage, it's Lauret. She's there.
taking
She's
you
not
for
going
granted.
anywhere. Taking it for granted. Exactly.
Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, I love the direction this is taking. We might have to do part 2 is what we'll do because I'm loving where we're going.
This is
And
so
this was
good.
not even where we were going to go, but I'm loving it. One of the things I do want to ask, because now I'm seeing the similarities between the two of you, and it's nice to hear another guy's point of view, and it's still aligned with, because I've always thought this was a Sami thing. Like this whole like, let's not talk, but then I see you talk all the time. So do you guys think that it has anything to do with working from home? Do you think that makes it different?
No.
No.
No, let me tell you
I don't
what. No,
believe so.
for us, the women, you just said you see him at work and you hear him talking and all of that passion and all of that, but then when it turns around, imagine if we never saw it. Would that have made a difference in the way you process it?
I don't think it's working from home, because Tosin really just started working from home post-pandemic.
Yeah.
He has always gone into the office.
And then come home and know
And I think when I say I see the passion he gives, that's just even before getting married to him. Like, Tosin has always been very career oriented. Like, I see the passion, and I see him talking to people. I see him with his colleagues.
Gotcha.
So I see the passion he brings in those conversations. So outside of even him working at home, I know how he is as a career person. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can answer that too, because for me, it has nothing to do with working from home. I've worked from home much longer.
I thought that was what it was.
No,
He's worked from home forever.
that's not what it is. It's just, again, when you're a decision maker, or you find yourself, maybe not even a decision maker, if you find yourself in a career path where your work is so brain tasking, what ends up happening, at least for me, I can speak for myself, is that by the time I get home, I don't have the energy for anything serious. Forget just even the kids. Like, if they have any serious conversations, like, I don't want to do that. I just want to relax. I just want to chill. But I do understand, I think, knowing what we know now, why it's important to not give of ourselves so much that we have nothing left for the most important people in our lives.
But how do you do that? Do you guys have any? Since both of you have come to the realization, or did you just come to it today?
No. For me,
so how do you do that? What are practical ways?
For me, first thing is knowing, right? Because I think you and I have had enough conversations about it, enough to know that, hey, this is a problem, right? So I have to ask myself, what's important to me, right? My job, my home, right? My job is important to me. My career is very important to me. But my wife is also important. Your happiness is important. My children, how they grow up, is important. Me giving of myself to them is actually very important. So I need to make sure that I'm not drained, or even when I'm drained, I am present enough in the conversation. When I'm talking to my son, when I'm talking to my daughter, right? I'm smiling through those things. I might be feeling different on the inside, if I'm being honest with myself. But hey, when they see Daddy's here, I'm home, and I'm with them. And when the conversation comes up 2-3 days later, I can say, oh yeah,
you
oh,
remember.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Because before, I'm saying,
oh my God.
You said what?
Like,
When
we
did
had
that
that conversation.
Oh my God.
I need to do better.
That was Sammy's biggest thing. He don't remember nothing.
There's a lot of things. I mean, I just don't.
anymore now.
No,
He's better.
I mean, there's a lot of things that it's like a memory bank thing. Yeah, you just kind of.
Y'all need to keep like 2 banks and then like close one, open the other after hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
We're working on it.
Tosin, do
We're
you have
working
any
on
other additional like practical tips on how you don't drain yourself with work so that you're present, or are you still working on it?
I'm still working on it.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm still working on
There's
it.
nothing wrong with that.
But I think one of the things that has actually been helpful is the business with this coffee shop, right? So even if I'm drained, I know what she needs help with. So, and when we're working together on it. So I'm supporting her on it. So sometimes it's just like it actually allows for time that we're spending together as a result of it. I mean, I think making sure it doesn't always consume everything is also important. I mean, there's a lot of times we'll go out to dinner and she's just like, "Do not bring up sales. Do not
I don't even want to
do
hear.
not bring this
Don't
up."
talk about.
So it has to be. I mean, we have to be very thoughtful about that. So.
That's very good. So intentional. You guys are very intentional. All right. So then next question then, it says, how would you describe your relationship? So let's pivot. We're going to pivot to family. Okay. How would you describe your relationship with your family before marriage versus after marriage?
I mean, I'll start. I mean, I think, my relationship with my siblings and my dad, and lost my mom. So, and I think it's been the same. I mean, I grew up, and it's kind of interesting because I always, in a sense, even when my mom was alive, like, right? So we always say we envy, the way Lauret and the nucleus of her family is. I mean, my family, a lot of things are very transactional, like, right? And I mean, that's just the way it was. And that's the way it's always, like, you call each other when you need something. You call, you bug each other when there's, is there a problem? Like, whatever the case may be. And if there is, you help, like, right? But it's not ever been, And I mean, to an extent, and like with my mom, I think had a very close relationship with her. I think most boys tend to have a very close relationship with mom, but my dad, I mean, it was like, I think there was a lot of friction growing up. So with that friction, we just never. It was always like, all right, you respect, and especially growing up from an African home, respect,
show respect.
Like there was not the word love was not really it was not in the interaction and stuff. And really now, I think the way I see it is just through my children. So I see it through my children, and that's kind of, so I know that. But then again, I also see it through Lauret and the interaction that she has with the family. She's the one that's actually usually anchoring to be like, hey, have you called your siblings? Have you, checked on this person? Have you, like, and I really appreciate that because she is, and just with everything. I mean, like, if I meet somebody, she's the one that is like,
have you checked
No, she remembers everybody's name. And she's reminded me of everybody's name and everything else and stuff. So it's just, it helps that. And so, but my relationship, my own family has not changed.
Wow.
So Lauret,
before Lauret, I remember a post you put up on social media not too long ago, and it was something about like,
that I put up?
Yeah, you were like, it's her or something like that. Like if you got a gift
or
something. And I just heard that play out in what he just said right now.
It was some post about some guy that said if you're calling me and you're thanking me for what I did, or you got something, you got an envelope from me,
it's her.
Trust me, it's her. I don't know anything about it.
You're welcome, but
you're welcome.
And he was like, he tagged me on it, and he was like, thanks, I appreciate you. And so I just heard that now in this conversation where behind the scenes, you're the one who's having to do a lot of the memorizing stuff and keeping him on track with that, and that's that covering each other's six that we always talk about, and that's amazing. But I want to hear what yours is like. You also haven't had a change, right? We're curious.
It hasn't changed. I don't believe my relationship with my family, my siblings, has changed since being married. So I was saying I am one of six. I'm the fourth, 5 girls, 1 boy. And we've always been close-knit, and it's carried on, I mean, till this day. And that's why when I met Tosin, like that whole transactional thing with his family, it used to drive me crazy because I just didn't understand it. I'm like, how do you only call your family like when you guys need something? When I, on the other hand,
doesn't mean I don't love them.
Constantly, all day long. I mean, there's no day that goes by.
Every Saturday is conference call for 5 hours.
Really? No, it's not up to 5 hours.
we know it's not 5 hours, but it's at least 2 hours.
I mean, like we always end up on
they talk every day.
Multiple calls because, like, okay, so for example, like 5 girls, right? Well, 5 girls, and then my mom, exactly.
If 4 hours goes by and what's it called? She's not called somebody, I'm getting a call. 4 hours. That's it.
That's not true.
No, it's like 4 hours.
If they're trying to reach me and they can't,
that's not
true. Tosin, calm down.
Let's not make this sound like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Intrigued.
No, seriously.
It's a great thing.
Like, I mean, like most times, so if I'm talking to one sister, and then let's say
something
mom
comes up
calls,
about
or
another
someone
one. You
calls,
add them on the call.
like there are already 2 people already separately talking to each other, so we always end up like on multiple like 3-way, 4-way conversations or FaceTime calls. Thank God for FaceTime now, which I think has been excellent, right? Because we've been separated or from the family for the most part. Like, so when we got married, as soon as we got married, we were in Atlanta. We moved to Bentonville, Arkansas. We were there 5 years before moving here. And even moving here, we really didn't have family until really this year with my parents and a sister moving here. So FaceTime has been excellent, right? So where you can't see them every day, even though we talk, but actually seeing their face as you're talking to them. I mean, it's been amazing. But yeah, we've always been that way. I talk to my siblings all the time. Not every single person every single day, but I at least try to not go like a whole full week without at least hearing someone's voice.
Wow.
As you know, there's probably my immediate older sister. I talk to her the most. So in one day we can get on the phone several times.
So what are we talking about? Like
Everyone always wants to know the answer to that question.
Nonsense.
I'm actually curious. Like,
Tosin said nonsense.
if you're talking so much, what are we like?
I don't know.
What did
But
you
there's-
eat?
There's no.
No, but I'm
What
like
are you
that-
cooking?
I'm like that with my older
So
sister too.
Tosin's like that with specifically
Just
just
my older
her
sister.
older
Yeah.
sister.
Everybody else, I may not talk to even in a whole year, but my older sister, it's like almost on the daily, and sometimes we're not even talking. I just have
just
her
on the phone.
and we're
That
just
her immediate older sister she's talking about. If she doesn't call, I've not heard from you. You can't call anybody. I mean, like it's literally that. Like, and you can tell that this is like, hey, you know what? I've not heard from you in a few hours.
oh
Like,
my god. I guess that I don't know about you, but my immediate older sister is like my best friend.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 years between us, and we were treated like twins growing up. So for me, that's like that's my person.
Yes.
So I'm gonna assume that that's the same kind of relationship with y'all.
Yes.
So I
It's
can
a great
see
thing.
it.
I mean,
I can see it.
it's a great
Yes.
thing.
And to be honest, one of the reasons why, because you alluded to it, so I want to sort of pause here and sort of hone in on that. One of the reasons why what I noticed that made me realize you guys have such a interesting, like noteworthy dynamic with your families was Lauret's relationship with your mom. And so when I first met you, not only like would I hear like in the background or something, maybe when we're talking, or comments of things you would make, comments you would make about something she's done or how she did it, that I thought was really like beautiful. Yeah. And so I tell people, and I don't know, I think I've told you this, but I want to say it. Like, it's so crazy. Your mom's passing was probably one of the most impactful things that have occurred in my life without me actually knowing her.
wow.
I say it all the time, and my husband will tell you that is honestly.
I know that for a fact.
That is a fact. And I didn't know her. Maybe she had come to church and you had introduced her to me once, like just a hi, this is my mom kind of scenario. It wasn't like I knew the woman. We never had a conversation, but attending her funeral changed my life. And it's so crazy because it was one of those, let's just be there for Tosin and Lauret, let's show up for them. And I feel like it's the one thing I don't ever regret. I can't even explain it, like the dynamics of what that funeral did to my life and the way
Do you want to share specifically what it changed?
So first of all, I read the booklet that was created, and to read the things people said about a person for me was like, wow. Especially one, and I'm going to be vulnerable and honest here, and I think this is not any like thing that is even worth hiding or anything, but my relationship with my in-laws has not been kosher, not at all. And I have craved a better relationship with them. Now, up until this year we're intentionally active. We had conversations and we're working on it. But up until this year, and I've been married for this is going to be the 21st year. I have an amazing marriage. But the one thing that has always been the bone of contention has been that relationship with my in-laws, my mother-in-law and myself, that relationship. They don't like overstep or anything like that. It's just that there is no relationship, So, reading your message in the booklet, how you wrote it, one of the things that I asked myself was, can I say that about my mother-in-law? And I couldn't. And so it sort of shone a light on an area that I had sort of like ignored or left unattended because I thought okay, if I can't fix it, I'm just going to leave it. It doesn't matter. But when I read yours, I was like, I want that. I want to be able to have that kind of a relationship with my mother-in-law. Of course, I'm sure it takes two, because from everything I read, she was very intentional about you.
She was.
And so I wanted to talk about it because I said, I know I'm not the only one that struggles with in-law relationship. Not just in how she treated you, but how she treated everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody spoke about. This was not one of those funerals that they're just talking because the person is now dead, so let's say something nice. No, it wasn't that. People were fighting to say something. I've never seen anything that long of people still. I'm sure there are people that are mad that they didn't get to talk, even though we went past midnight. Still talking about this woman and how amazing she was and the lives she had impacted. One of the things I remember, and now I feel bad because I'm not wearing my necklace, but I started wearing my necklace all the time because of that, because of your mom, because she told your sister that a woman should always wear a necklace.
No, that's true. Because Tosin never used to wear necklaces.
Oh wow.
She would wear jewelry,
but I wouldn't wear a
never
necklace.
really
Like I wear
big
very
on
dainty.
necklace.
I started actually being more like accessorizing more than anything a necklace, and I started purchasing. I only owned one prior to that. I started purchasing necklaces.
Wow.
So from somebody I never met, like the advice she gave, I actually really took it, and I wish I met her. I really wish.
She was amazing.
I wish. So I'm so curious about. Did you do anything, or was it just all her? And if it was her, what did she do? Because I feel like there's a lot of women out there who would, even the mother-in-laws, that need to hear it.
Can I maybe interject? Because
Please.
I obviously I got to see a perspective that Lauret never saw, right? But it was always, and first, thank you for everything you shared, because I'm like, you're bringing back some just really.
I'm sorry.
I'm holding back tears.
I'm so
I
sorry,
really
bro.
have.
Oh, my love. I'm sorry. I know you loved your mom. Oh, man. And may
I'm
her soul
good.
rest in peace.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. No, you're good.
You're
You're good. No, but I think what was really, I mean, for me, one, it's a lot of who Lauret is, right? So because my mom recognized that. I mean, I was dating before, we met, and she recognized it right off the back. And so I don't necessarily think, I think it was, she knew, well, in a sense, what was going to complement me. And I mean, I remember, my dad is amazing in his own way. But like I said earlier, like we had a lot of friction. But I remember as a young kid, like, right, even in my teenagers, my dad always said, pay for your life partner. Like, right, he said that. But so I always felt like, when she met Lauret, there was immediately like, this is a great person. Right. So I think so naturally, Lauret is naturally given. My mom is naturally given. Right. Like Lauret was herself. And my mom just anchored to who you were.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow. The rest of us are ourselves now. Wow, our mother-in-law's not anchoring to who we are. There has to be more.
Because a lot of what you said is what I hear people talk about Lauret.
Oh, absolutely. And I could, I could say for,
Absolutely.
if I tell you about Lauret, y'all are going to think that maybe I have a crush on her. Like the way I love this girl, and it's not like we don't talk every day. There was a time we used to talk all the time because we work together and stuff, but we don't talk every day. But she's somebody that honestly, you're amazing.
Thank you.
And I tell you all the time, you're beautiful, not just on the outside, but on the inside. Like, you're an amazing person. If I meet a person that has a problem with you, they are the problem. No, that's a fact.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. I'm sorry, you don't like what you need to go check yourself.
I mean, you didn't lie.
Tell me what it is that you think she could have done, because she wouldn't. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not that kind of person.
My guy friends tell me all the time, you have a
Like
special,
you, bro,
have a
you
special
lucked
woman.
out, man.
Yeah.
You lucked out. So I know that, and there's people who, when people maybe talk about me, they think I'm an amazing person, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm not a bad person, so why is mine not working?
Honestly, I don't want to take too much credit at all. I think my mother-in-law was just amazing, and I've thought about it to myself. Like, was it just me? But knowing the person that she was, I feel like even for his happiness and for his peace, she would have done anything to like make it work for whoever he was with, because she was just that person. She really was. I really can't take all the credit. She was amazing. She really was. I really lucked out in like the in-laws department, from his mom to his dad, siblings. I mean, 14 years next month. I've never had an issue.
Like, if my mom, she will come, she's like, what did you do to Lauret? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she's not happy. Like, you need to, like, what? Like, literally.
That was one particular situation. There was a day she called called, and I remember this so vividly. I don't even know what Tosin and I argued about. Like, it's probably something so silly that I don't even remember. But it really wasn't even a serious argument. But, like, it was one of those things where it's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. But she calls and she's asking me, and because whenever she'll call, she's always, like, so joking, like,
Hey,
where's
darling.
your husband? And I'm like, I don't know.
So she says it's something else.
Yeah, so she just said something in my voice, but it wasn't even that serious. I was just like, I was just being truthful. Like, I don't know where he is. Like, and I think in that moment, I was still irritated. So instead of even saying something like, oh, he went out, or I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, there was never, kind of almost what you said, there was never anything that could happen that I could say anything that she would align with me if it was about Lauret, and it was not.
Yeah.
She was always defending Lauret.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But
Always.
no, I get off the phone with her, and then Tosin comes back home, and he's like, what did you say to my mom?
Because I got a
Because
story.
she called me, and I think you actually told me that day she called you and she was crying,
Yeah.
and I was
crying.
confused.
Yeah.
I was so confused because I'm like,
My
all I
goodness.
told her is I don't know where you are, because I don't like. She asked where you were, and I said I don't know. But yeah,
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
wow.
I got from the funeral, because I haven't been to many.
That was
funerals.
probably our first like real funeral that we really paid attention, like we were
Yeah,
present
yeah.
from beginning to
I think
end.
I've been to a few.
Yeah, but as a
maybe-
couple, I don't think we had been
Yeah.
to any.
That particular one, what I got was how selfless she was.
Yes.
She was.
Like not just to the kids or to you as a daughter-in-law, but like all those people that were talking.
My family, my
Yeah, your
siblings,
siblings.
my siblings,
Your
my
siblings,
her and
I'm
my
like-
mom.
She has she had a
whole-
very unique,
yeah.
interesting way of connecting with people individually.
Wow.
I mean, like, and it's a gift. I mean, I don't have it, so I mean, I wish I had it. I'll be so much further in life if I did. But I mean, it's a special gift. It doesn't matter whether she's on a grocery store line, doesn't really matter what it is. I
She
mean,
just
like
was a
every
people
single person she talked to, she connected with that person. She found a way.
You guys, when I tell you I was like, I'm going to model my life after this woman, I really was. I told my husband, like, even how I relate with my kids, going forward, how I plan and pray towards my children's spouses, was from that funeral, was from the things I heard, was from the things I read. I saw how they said there was pretty much no difference. I think your sister is Morenike?
Morenike.
Yeah, between Morenike and you.
No, it was if she
If
gave
she did for Morenike,
if
she
she
was
gave
doing
a gift
Lauret.
for Rennie, she gave a gift to Lauret.
And
it
I
the
was
same
just
thing.
like,
Yeah.
man. So when I say I'm telling you, I paid attention.
You really did.
I've never talked about your sister, but I know her name, right? Because that's like
We literally had that conversation in our home, probably like 2 weeks straight after that funeral.
we talked about it and just kept talking about
she
it.
would not let
I'm
it
like,
rest.
my legacy. This woman left a legacy. So
Yeah.
now I understand the value of legacy.
Yes.
And my legacy, if it's not up to it has to be the minimum it can be is Tosin's mom. It cannot be below that. She's the standard now, because just knowing who you were and knowing your family. So to beat your family, what kind of mother-in-law makes your mom look like she's not doing enough? Because your mom does a lot too.
does.
Your family was also just as close, and with the conversations we had, I picked up on you had a great mom. I have a great mom. My mom does a whole lot. So I felt like, oh yeah, we cool. But then to now find like that your mother-in-law was even like neck and neck, if not making your mom like have to work for it. I'm like, I want to know what it is. And I know you guys, your initial, how y'all started was not like easy.
No, it was not.
You would expect with that kind of a start, a Yoruba mother-in-law would probably treat her bad. And I don't know if y'all want to share how y'all started.
But I was just about to say, you know what, a podcast when you
I
drop
don't know
when
if
you
they
drop
wanna
one
share.
share,
I
you
don't
gotta
mind
ask.
sharing.
I don't know if they want to share, but I know that do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like when it's not perfect, we Yoruba, especially Christian Yoruba mothers,
Yeah.
it's not their child, it's you. You're the one that brought.
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, we were broken up, like, right, and then we got. Then I mean, like, she called me on my 30th birthday, and we realized that we had a baby on the way, and that's a whole another story. But here's what I would say. I mean, I think it was not. I won't say there was no judgment, right? I mean, there was. I mean, there was like
In the beginning,
this is
of
not the
course,
way
yeah.
it should have.
Right.
It should have gone, right? But it was like, hey, how do we support you? And immediately it was like, all right, we got to go see Lauret's parents. I mean, and that was the first thing they did. I mean, they were like, we're gonna go see Lauret's
in our
parents.
culture, when we say see Lauret's parents, like we're saying the marriage.
That's
emotion.
our wife.
Yeah, and we're gonna
That's
have a
what it was,
conversation, and we had a lot of intentional conversations around what I would say because obviously her parents also were. It was interesting. Oh. I think there was some perspective, that it was like, okay, maybe I'll just say the perspective was like, oh, like Lauret is trying to trap you, or Tosin, you're trying to trap Lauret. Like, right? I mean, it probably, there was some of that was in the air, right? So in that discussion, but we're two grown adults that really, at the end of the day, like, it was two to tango. I mean, not saying that that's the way to go about it, but but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that, right? And I think once that settled, right, it then became, all right, well, what are the requirements for us to feel satisfied that you as Tosin are ready, right? And vice versa. And, we kind of, I mean, and one of that was premarital counseling that we had to be very intentional about.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Lauret. What's your take?
I lost my thought.
I mean, like, we're all about like navigating controversial beginnings and it not being the definition of a good marriage.
Yeah.
People always assume that the moment your beginning is not picture perfect,
Yeah.
or even if there's any moment in your marriage that there's an issue that occurs that's supposedly socially unacceptable, that marriage needs to end.
No.
And no, beyond that, before we even get to marriage, there's a whole school of thought out there amongst younger people that when I'm dating somebody, there's a little bit of a friction. Well, guess what? That means we're not meant to be together. We're just not cut out to. It's like, dude.
No, real quick, I lost. There was a question you asked that he answered, and he went on. So I lost my train of thought of what your initial question was. But to your to answer your question, even though we didn't start out, I guess, the way we should have, they're really, for me, from his family, I really didn't get, if there are conversations behind my back, I don't know about them, but dealing with his mom and his parents, I never got that judgment from them. As a matter of fact, I think we found out we were expecting like in September, and that November I turned 25. Wow. And his mom threw a surprise party for me at their house.
Wow.
And I was totally unaware of it. I think it was a Sunday after church, and my family members kept trying to get me to like get ready so we can head over to their house. And I'm like, okay, I didn't even know where we were going because they didn't tell me where we were going, but we ended up getting to their house, and I walked into the living room, and the guy that was on the piano at the funeral homegoing service was in there, like full setup, like playing. I walked into him singing.
Wow.
And that was, I think for me, that was one of like my first like full blown like welcome to the family, like for real, because during that birthday celebration was when at some point in front of everyone she got up, gave a speech, and that was when she gave me this first bracelet. Like I always say,
oh, that's what you're wearing right now?
Yes, that's what I have on right now. I got 2 bracelets from her. The first one, the first gift I got from her was a bracelet, and the last gift before she passed away was a bracelet for Mother's Day, the year she passed away.
My God. So
she gave this bracelet to me. And there's also like all those like ceramic type plates. There's one, she gave it to me that birthday too. And on the plate was, and I might not get it exactly right, but it has something to the effect of from above sent to us to love.
Oh my God.
Yes. And she did exactly just that from day one till the very last minute. But yeah, but no judgment ever.
Oh my days.
And I think similar to for Tosin too. I mean, like, I know my family, especially with the history we had with us breaking up, and
That
then
part, I don't know. You want I running through that part like it's like some people should not just be like, okay, let's
no,
move.
no. So I met Tosin. I mean, we dated for off and on for 7 years before, because I met him in 2003.
I didn't know that part.
2004.
2004, sorry, and we got married in 2012. So yeah, actually, when we calculate like the actual, because we
7 years and 7 days I
7
proposed.
years, 7 days
really?
that he proposed. But we didn't plan it that way. It was just something that
She told me at church, she was like, the 7 years and 7 days.
Wow. And we thought about it. We're like, wait a minute, this is exactly the timing. But
from the day we met.
Yeah, but I think for my family, and the reason why we keep saying like, okay, there was probably some, I wouldn't even necessarily call it contention, but like with the history we had, right?
With the off and on.
Breaking up and and coming back, and then now not just coming back, but coming back with a child. So I think, and my family, they were very worried, and rightfully so. Rightfully so, they're protective because it's like, okay, are you trying to get married because of the baby, or is this something you guys really want to do? Do you guys really love each other? And so for him, there was no judgment. My family, I mean, and tell me if I'm speaking differently. They welcomed Tosin from day one, even pre-day one. I mean, when we were dating, he had a great relationship with my siblings, my family. He would come to the house. Everyone knew who Tosin was. I mean, in those 7 years. So,
what do you want to eat? There's always food in their family. So.
There's a lot of nuggets out there.
Oh my God, there's so many. Y'all, I'm like, should I ask this one or should I just dig into what I'm hearing?
I wouldn't even ask. I mean, just sitting on the fact that you have people who come from where we come from, who don't do the typical things, right? Because I can only imagine, like, you know, my family I think is wonderful, but there's a lot of judgment, you know, very transactional like you described. So the things that you guys have gone through, I can imagine me going home with Tosin back then and saying, oh, she's pregnant. Yeah. There's gonna be a little bit of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, I beg to differ.
You don't think?
In that area, your parents actually would have been fine.
I think there were things.
So?
I think for my dad and really my mom as well. I mean, there were some similarities, right? So because I was conceived out of wedlock, right? So at the end of the day, you know, I think I actually remember my dad. I actually think my dad joked that, you know, it was like the tree doesn't fall, the seed doesn't fall from the tree, right?
Really?
So, you know, at the first onset and I was scared to death to tell them, like, right, even though I'm like, what are you going to do to me? I'm not. I'm not living in your house. No, you were 25.
I was 25, 30,
yeah, I was 30, right?
So, scared.
But yeah, I was. I mean, it's reverence, right? We all African parents. You have reverence for your parents, right? So, and you know, but again, I mean, my dad got married right at the same age I did. Like, right? Lauret got married at the same age my mom did. Like, so they're 5 years different. There was just so many things that were very similar. So I think from that standpoint, like, right? I mean, I don't think,
and I think that's the same way. That's what I was about to say about his parents. And I was like, bruh, no, your parents would have been okay. Let me tell you why. Same exact story. They had their first kid out of wedlock. Your parents got married when they were like 19 and 18 or something like that.
20 and 21.
20 and 21 because there was a child involved. So for that reason, I don't think that they would have been able to boldly carry their chest and be like, you brought a child from... I don't think that... On that, there won't be a problem.
I don't know why.
Sometimes my concern with the whole in-law thing, I feel like... And this is the excuse I made for a long time, but I'm not sure even if that's what it is. It might just be cultural, but I'm seeing the same Yoruba. Your mom's from Abeokuta, right?
No, she's Ibadan.
See what I'm saying? So there's so much similarity when it comes to like culturally where we're from. Is it your dad that's from Abeokuta then?
Yeah.
Okay, something like that. Yeah. So my in-laws, my mother-in-law's from Abeokuta, my father-in-law's from Ibadan, but they grew up they lived in Ibadan. So when you compare that, this is also a very Yoruba family, and yet the dynamics are different in how the in-law relationship, right? And my excuse for the longest time was that maybe because my mother-in-law only had boys. And so sometimes, you know, the dynamics of being a boy mom can be different when it comes to, but I've seen situations also where it's female, they have female kids and they still struggle with their daughter-in-law. So my issue is always this: how do we navigate this in-law thing to where there is boundaries but yet still lots of love? Because I think you made a comment about boundaries earlier when I was talking about in-laws. Like, what are the, like, were there any unspoken expectations of you guys?
No, I mean, I'll start with this. I mean, I think, and Lauret talked about my family being so kind and always great to her and gracious to her, right? I think her parents were the same. I mean, like, with me, her siblings were the same with me, so I never, I mean, if anything, I mean, I think, whatever I wanted to do, I had, I mean, the free will to do it. So there was never any, I do think, I mean, earlier in the marriage, right? And maybe it was me trying to also pump my chest, whichever way you want to kind of say it as a man. But there were things that I remember my best friends or my guy friends will have a conversation around, like, okay, like, hey, I think, are we talking, like, what is Lauret sharing with her family? Because I knew she talked about it, about us all the time. So there was always like, oh, well, is there a discussion happening about, what is happening in
our home?
Or, very early on, which was helpful, like, right, her mom used to come over to the house all the time, right? But at the same time, I mean, I remember, and, I would say this, to just remind, I mean, as a memory jogger, right, I'll be coming down the stairs at 5 a.m. in the morning, and mom is like, popping into the house. I'm going, what's mom doing over here? Like, right? So, but, she was coming from work, like, right? But she's like, hey, I'm going to come help. But I wasn't expecting her to be there. Our newborn, like, right? But I wasn't expecting to be there. And that in the beginning, it drove me crazy. I mean, those were things that, like, really, really, really did. Even fast forward to today, like, right, where they've now moved to Dallas, right? So, and they're now in our own area. I mean, Lorena had to have a conversation around boundaries. Everybody has a code to their house. Everybody can get it. My dad does, and stuff. But I'm like, can I get a heads up? Like, it's just like, I mean, like, it's just like, I just hit the garage open, like, right. But, I've had to adjust, and I don't get bothered. Like, right, it's just, it took me a while to get comfortable with, hey, everybody in the house, Tosin's about to go out with his boys or he's about to go do this, I can just leave. But it was probably more of my own self.
I was just about to say,
that
I
was
think
being
some of it
no,
was him,
wait a minute.
He was thinking about it from your own...
From the transactional mindset.
No,
that
not
he's,
even
what?
the
No, not that.
transactional mindset. I think it was guilty conscience worrying
No, it
him.
wasn't.
That's
No,
how-
let me
Pause. Let me tell you.
Let's
Because, so my family's coming over when we just got married, but he wants to go hang out, right? Tosin, let me tell you guys, pandemic really slowed this one down because Tosin used to be out there. I'm saying, like, even when he was corporate in Atlanta, come Friday nights, it's like he's out Friday, he's out Saturday, he's out. There's something every day. So if my family members are there, I think in his mind, when he dresses up to leave the house, he's thinking judged. But I'm like, no, that's just your whole...
No, it's not. So let's clarify. First of all, we have two lawyers in the house. Okay. So you're gonna get like questions. You're sitting on like literally now you're like on the chair and you're getting peppered with questions. Where you going? What did you eat? Where you going? Why you dressed that way? I mean, like literally, it's like so.
Let me just say this. When my family
and
members are asking questions, they ask a lot of questions. It's not necessarily...
but for him, But for him, it's like, why am I being questioned?
No, and I give them a hard time about it. So now we can...
family members, I will tell you, they ask questions.
They know
I don't even think I'm like...
Thank you, that's the right word.
I'm not that close. As far as how much questions they ask, I can't even beat them. They ask my sisters, they ask questions.
But imagine being the one on the receiving end of those questions.
I mean, I just
all you're trying to do is just get out.
No. Well, today it doesn't bother me as much. But I mean, many times, I mean, going back to there was a conversation we were having earlier that we want peace, right? Mm-hmm. And I think folks have come to like just realize, okay, this is his peace. Like, right? Yes. So he's in his office, that's his peace. He's in his bedroom. I think there's always this obligation that Lauret also had, which is, the family's hanging out. You got to be in the living room. Oh, this is happening. You got to do.
That was my next
and
question.
that drives me nuts because I mean, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's nothing, like I mean, could be vacation. Like there are things I just want to be do by myself.
social battery runs
I
out.
also think, I mean, they're like, and before we started this, we were talking about like just our personalities, and I was telling you I'm like a huge introvert, and people don't notice that or know that about me, but
I
I
had no
am
clue until today.
I would peg it the other way
That's
around.
why I told that's people never ever believe it when I say I'm an introvert. They think I'm because I'm like my personality is outgoing. I'm out there. I talk to people. I laugh, mix, mingle. But like my inner self, like I just want to be in a corner by myself, like just left alone. And I think for I lost my train of thought again.
No, you're good. You're good. I think he was talking about like the expectations that whenever there's people around.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's all about upbringing. Because I think for me, just the family that I come from, like we always did things together. Whereas like with his family, when he talks about the whole transactional and we only call each other when we need each other. So for me, it's like, okay, we're always all together. We're all always talking together. But then if we're having like a family gathering, in my mind, I'm like, okay, everyone should be together. We all need to be in the living room, talking, chatting. And sometimes he just wants to, go away and then go in the room.
Like I don't keep up with
like,
Housewives of Atlanta. I don't keep up with this
be
person's
about
New York.
Housewives of Atlanta.
I have no idea what's going on in any of those
watching
things,
it.
right?
I get what
present
Tosin's
and
saying,
everybody just sitting there together.
Sometimes
sometimes he just wants to get up and go in the room, and I'm like, how's everyone in the living room? And you're in the room. Like to me, I couldn't like just.
It looks somehow. Yes. I get it, but I also understand where it's coming from because I'm like that. I don't want to socialize all the time. My social battery runs out pretty quickly, and when it's out, I'm just sitting there and I'm just staring, and I'm like.
But you can ask her. I mean, like she will tell you, like right. I mean, our friends in Dallas. Everyone knows me. I'm the guy that falls asleep in parties. I mean, I don't go to movie.
That has to be a Tosin thing.
I don't go to movie theater. Yeah. So because if I go, as soon as I get to the movie theater, lights out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I just so when I am, I mean, like if there's not something like really super engaging and stuff, right? That's, I mean, and I'll say we all find our energy out of different things and how we find energy. But so I think for her, I mean, like the way I've kind of looked at it is all right. Yes, I can have conversation about politics. I can have conversation about policy. I can have conversation about business. I can have conversation about technology and all this stuff. But the moment it's like, all right, well, let's start talking about all this stuff. Oh, did you see this? I have no idea what's going on in all of the social. No, I just completely. I mean, I don't do card games. I don't do video games. So it's interesting. So it's interesting when we came to your house for New Year's. That's a very rare thing for me. And but I really enjoyed it. Really? We talked about it. I really did. I mean, I really did.
You were very engaged.
I was, but most of the time, I don't.
I don't do. With our family, that's one of the things that I always just said. You know what? I can't let that be something that I hold on to.
Okay.
And it becomes kind of like a thing that I hold against him because I'm like, again, I have to learn. That's just not him. And I've tried and tried. I'm like, he just doesn't enjoy it. But like, you know how like, with families, and I see with your family, you guys, where you've played Monopoly with your kids, like stuff I've seen posted, and I'm like, we don't do that stuff. Like, with like, because he just doesn't get joy out of doing things like that. I mean, granted, we find other ways.
You find other ways, of course. Yeah,
y'all do family. But like with board games, I know stuff like that. Like, it's just not his thing. Like, even when we get together with friends, and we're playing stuff like Taboo and stuff like that. He will always like he's somewhere in the side. Like he just doesn't want to engage.
Exit stage left.
Exit stage left. Straight
Spades. I'm like, no.
I gotta respect the fact that you made a conscious decision for it not to be something that you held against.
It took a while, though.
It took a while.
It took almost 10 years.
Really? And that's something I want to point that out, right? The crazy thing is we have something similar. So you see the whole Christmas thing, and it was Christmas y'all came up for. The whole Christmas thing, in this family, we call Sammy the Grinch because he didn't grow up with like, he didn't grow up with like all these
Gifting,
kind of
I do not do
Christmas
gifts.
and all these things,
Yeah.
right? I grew up with a mom who literally used to stuff pajamas. She would stuff a pinata up my dad's old
Create our
pajamas
own
to
pinata.
create Judas for Easter.
Oh, wow.
And stuff it with candy and stuff, and we would drag it and beat it, and whatever you get, the candy you get out, So I grew up with like an over exaggerated kind of like fantasy kind of like
Christmas.
Lots of
holidays and
fantasies.
stuff like that. My mom was very, very fantasy,
Yeah.
lots of fun stuff. So I've always had all these dreams of the things I want to do with my kids, and the things you do see are because I didn't stop though. Now, when I heard him say what he said he didn't think he would enjoy it, but he ended up enjoying it. Last year was the first time somebody actually admitted to enjoying Christmas.
Honestly,
Last year.
I always just thought everything was over the top. She wants to put light on the house. For me, it's a waste of, what is it, $300, $400
Yeah.
that we pay some guy to come put a light up and then put it down. I couldn't care less. Even the gifts that we give the kids.
He knows nothing about it. He's seen it on the day.
think it's-
He's just as surprised as the kids are. He's like, yes!
And
He
they're
has no
opening
idea.
boxes after boxes. I'm like, well, how many boxes?
They literally dragged me out of bed on Christmas Day for gifts.
Memories.
I mean, I don't mind.
But he
It's just
does good, Tosin.
I've
Give yourself some credit. Like a lot of the gifts the kids receive over the years, he does all the purchasing. Like he does it,
Yeah.
and
Even
then
though that's
he
not something
hides.
you-
I don't even know what he's getting. Most
Also, see, it's
times.
even the
I
other way
really don't.
around.
Yeah,
Also, see.
I don't.
get it.
no, but I'm saying no.
Yeah.
Like for me, receiving gifts, I struggle with
gotcha.
it. Like I really do.
I like gifts. I'll take
so.
I'm just not buying stuff.
So no, I really, I just, I mean, because we
both of
do
us,
as a her family, like we do, or my family.
started
So
Secret
Santa,
Santa,
it
yeah,
stresses me out.
4
I
years
just,
ago.
it
Yeah.
completely stresses me out. I mean, if it's up to me, we stop it. So, but
It has been
I'm putting it all on notice. So, but
No, but you see, the thing with and what I was trying to get at is sometimes as we get older, we evolve, we change, we don't even realize we're changing. Now, you say you enjoyed the Christmas thing is sort of what I'm like. He said it last year, and then I decided, okay, we're gonna keep doing it. Like I'm gonna keep doing it, and I know it's not his. I just don't stress him about it. I handle all the stuff, and he's
I still get
present.
stressed. She doesn't stress me
No,
leading
yeah,
to
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? But
you want us to be successful.
on the day of, I care about when I let people into my home. How do they feel?
Yeah.
So when people are here, I'm concerned. Are you okay? Do you need a drink? Do you? I'm stressed.
But the next day, the next morning, babe, you do. You feel there's a joy. That
Absolutely,
it does.
there's a joy.
There really is a
Yeah,
joy.
1000%.
The games. It's not easy. It's
No,
in
it
fact
wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
the older they've gotten. When was it? The other day, somebody actually said, "Where are you?" Oh, during this whole storm
Oh,
thing.
the whole
They were
snowstorm
always
thing.
like
They
missing.
were just in
MIA.
their rooms.
He finally
Yeah.
was like,
Outside.
"Everybody come out.
Everybody
drop your
come
phones.
out.
We're
Yeah.
playing
Your phones,
Scrabble."
we're playing Scrabble.
And so we play Scrabble. And my son was at first he was very like,
He ended up winning.
I'm not participating. Next thing we know, and then he won, and he was
He
so
actually
excited.
won.
So sometimes it's kicking and screaming, but eventually,
I mean,
it
Damien
becomes-
and I were the same that day, right? So when we're coming, like Damien did not want to come. I did not want to
noticed that
come.
with Damien.
And then, I mean, like to your point, that
Yeah.
I think when the first game that he won something,
Yeah,
it
he
changes.
got into it.
It changed the the way
It
everything
really
went
does.
and
It
stuff.
really
So.
does.
And this is the beauty about marriage, right? And two becoming one. That's what I don't know why that just popped in my head. I don't think the point is that two people that are so similar should be coming together, but rather
because there's nothing to gain from that.
people who are not necessarily similar,
same,
so that we
yeah.
can
Exposure.
rub off on each other
Yeah.
and we can do
Exposure,
things
that
that
is
we
the
would
word.
normally typically wouldn't do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Because if it was left to us the way we are, we would be the exact same people we were
Oh, yeah.
how many years ago. And what fun is there in
I wouldn't
that?
have any friends. Really.
There'd be no purpose in that. There'll be no growth in that, and no growth. That's crap. So y'all, let's talk about boundaries though, real quick, and then. We didn't even turn.
we'll wrap up.
I didn't turn on the timer today. It's okay. We're having a blast, and I hope you guys are really like grabbing nuggets here. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as we're a team. Anyways, boundaries. Boundaries can feel harsh, right? So how do you guys set them with grace and with respect? Because I know you guys set boundaries. Your mom coming in the beginning might have been hard, but then at what point? Who does what?
Or is it something you struggle with?
I think think so. The beginning of our marriage, I think we just had a natural boundary set, and that was as a result of us having to move.
Okay.
Right. So we were in Atlanta, and then had to move to Bentonville, Arkansas, and we were there for 5 years. And really, so we were married in February.
Yeah.
Mariah came in June. By August, Tosin was in Arkansas, but I stayed back and then joined him in January the following year. Because I'm like, everything happened too suddenly, and I'm like, I'm not moving right away with you, at least.
And I was traveling quite a bit.
Yeah, and there's a baby exactly that I needed help with, so I stayed back in Atlanta and then joined him with Mariah January the next year. And living in Bentonville, Arkansas, it's not just one of those places where you just like, at that point in our lives, anyone just hops on a flight and, let's come and visit them, or get in the car and drive and come visit them.
Where do you fly into to get to Benton?
XNA.
It's
a
little regional airport.
It's Fayetteville.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And so for 5 years of our marriage, really, it was just the both of us. I mean, we had family visit, but like something,
it was expensive.
It was really expensive flying out there. So something had to be happening for them to be out there. I know we hosted Thanksgiving one year, so everyone was there. My family, his family.
I had some of my siblings that never came.
I don't blame you. Some type of way. No, I don't blame you. Did you know you had to say it's one tiny place and it costs a lot?
Yeah. I think for Damie's first birthday, everyone showed up, at least on my side of the family. When he was born, my mom was there.
Thanksgiving as
one of
well.
my older sisters was there for his birth. So just very few and far in between, right? So, I mean, that was just a naturally set boundary where I think me and Tosin have had this conversation where we said that, like, not having family
allowed us to grow.
Yeah, allowed us to grow and just be our own, own, people without like any outs or much of any outside noise. Right?
I don't think I was I would like to say I was intentional about it, and I think back then I used to say I was intentional about it, but I do remember feeling a sense of there was too much cloud over us, and I mean,
all of your family
no, I mean,
were in Atlanta. All
at
of
the
yours
time,
and
it was 8 of them. So, I mean, it really was, and it was just like, I mean, and they were very close, and which was great. But I think, at the time, there were other reasons for the move, but I actually think it was a blessing in disguise, because I think that if we had been in Atlanta at the time, we would have struggled.
Wow.
I mean, there. I think for me, there were advantages, and in my sense, I mean, disadvantages to that. Like, yes, advantages in the sense that we did get that chance to grow and be our own, people, have, create our own, like, little nook. But then on the flip side of it, like, not growing up or having my kids grow up around family, especially when you come from a family that's that close knit. For me,
the cousins.
It was a big struggle. And I think more than anything, that's why this year, just finally being in close proximity with my parents, my sisters, my sister that moved here has been like, the biggest thing for me, like such a joy. Because, when you think about it, like, I didn't have that. I didn't have that for for 13 years, really up until last year. I didn't have that. And when I look at my immediate older sister, her kids now, I mean, they just moved, last year, but I look at her children growing up around my other sisters, the experiences, the memories that, because my family, we're all about experiences. Like, we don't just get together and sit around, especially one of my older sisters, Harriet. Like, she will find something to do, like create memories, like take the kids to the museum, do this, do that. And not having my kids miss out on those things they could have experienced, with my family. Sometimes it hurts, It's like I think about it and I'm like,
it's not too late.
I was about to say that was actually what was in my mind.
It's not too late, and that's why I'm like, I'm so happy to have my parents here now, because I'm like, even just creating the memories with their grandparents, it's so necessary. I mean, like with their cousins. I mean, thankfully, one of my other older sisters, Colette, lives in Houston. And so our kids have kind of like found ways over the years, as they've all grown, to always get together, hang out. But like, I still feel like just we could have gotten way more.
But you don't know your scenario, your situation is even some people's prayer point.
I was about to say.
I got nobody here. Like they're all in different continents. You know what I'm saying? So my kids just met their cousins for the first time at the funeral, at my dad's funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like for the first time,
We're
and
talking
they're
17,
all
16,
teenagers.
15-year-olds.
So like. I say Nigeria happened is what because if everything was good, how we all outside of where we should be, you know, that's another conversation for another day. Let's leave that. But let's I mean definitely it seems like y'all have grown through a lot of things and there's more understanding now with.
Let me tell you. I mean, I'll say obviously because today we have both my dad and her parents that live within 20-30 minutes of us. It is amazing. I mean, it's great.
Now that you're mature and adult, yes.
I mean, no. But I mean, I really do appreciate it, and I love that the kids are getting to experience, their grandparents. Yeah. And really with my dad. I mean, I've said this for a long time, like that, right? That I have seen. I don't know. I don't know that my dad has ever said "I love you," but I know he said it to my kids. Like right. So he said it to Lauret many times. So never said it to me.
That means more,
No, when my dad, I mean, and that's what I said.
It's
I said,
that guy thing.
And I see it even with, I mean, you should watch us at church. The next time you see me like that, so it's so funny. Lauret's dad would come and give me a hug, and my dad would be like this. My dad would literally be like, and he's like, he shakes his head like, and he'll give Lauret a hug, and stuff. No, it's
one day you should shock him.
And then it's like the what's called email. He signs off every email. Your dad, your dad, Michael.
To be official.
So but that's just but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But it's an understanding. But I love again. He picks my kids up, every single day from school.
That's
right. So it's great to see that. We didn't have that for many years. Like, right,
God
that interaction. So
He
it's been really, really, really awesome. I mean, literally, 2 days ago, her mom and dad, her dad makes food for us. And brings it over. Wow. He's the one making stew. He's the one doing. I mean, literally bringing it to the house. So because our schedules are so demanding right now, and it's just really amazing. I mean, right now, I can't. It's not just about that, but just love the nucleus of what we're experiencing right now.
And that's the part I'm talking about where I feel like we missed out on a lot of that. And
I don't think I was ready for it then, though.
Yeah. But more so for my kids, I feel like they really missed out.
That part. Because you could have had that and it could have broken y'all.
True.
Yes, and remember when I said God doesn't make mistakes. He knew what he was doing when he moved you out.
Yeah.
Because there's
allowed him to be able to value it now.
Yeah.
Because you gotta value it.
Yeah.
The things that we think we don't want, sometimes it's just the wrong time.
Yeah.
Or the things that we think we want, it's just the wrong time. When it comes in the right time, it will be a blessing.
Beautiful.
Comes at the wrong time, it can be a curse.
Yeah.
If you're not ready, you're not ready.
Right.
And I tell myself, actually, what's been giving me peace with my newfound relationship with my in-laws. When I say newfound, I'm talking about 21 years when we're just starting. No, wow. It's my newfound relationship with them. Is I tell myself that maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe if they were in our space at the beginning, it would have been a problem. Yeah. So maybe this is when it should be, and this is the blessing that we're gonna get from it. And I'm okay with that. My in-laws are real young people, so I hope that many more years we'll have, with them in Jesus' name. Amen. But talking about, before we close out, you guys talked about how demanding your schedules are. How have you been able to juggle that with your relationship?
Yeah, you start.
I think it has definitely been a learning process, because prior to starting Scooters, he did his thing, I did my thing. We do talk about work and we manage our relationship, but then it's one thing, going from spouses to business partners.
Oh my God.
Tell me about it.
And it has been, it's been a work in progress. I wouldn't say like we're in the clear right now, because there are still moments where there's friction. There are things happening, conversations happening, decisions have to be made. And so, you know, he has his opinions. I have mine. He feels like a lot of times I don't listen to his. I don't take, you know, I don't do very good with feedback according to
Performance review.
But it's been a challenge. But I think even in that challenge, I do see growth. You know, like going through this process with him, it has been fun, right? I'm learning a lot, you know, from him, because he does have, you know, I will give him his props, you know, extensive knowledge in what he does. And he knows retail well. I just, you know, I wouldn't say I struggle, you know, taking feedback.
You're like,
in my mind, I'm like,
just wants to find out on their own.
No, yeah. Well, I'm like, I can also make decisions too. You know, I'm like, we both went to school, we both got our degrees. Like, like I can do stuff too. But and I mean, he learns from me too. I learn from him both ways. But I'm loving it. You know.
But I mean, just using the example of, we talked about on my department, right? So I mean, with Scooter's Coffee, she's in the box, and we say we're in the box as she's the one running the operations of the business. Right. I don't know how to make an espresso. Now I'm the one that loves coffee.
I was about to say,
I am an extremely. I've always wanted to open up a coffee shop. I love coffee. I drink coffee every day, multiple times a day. I mean, I make it. No, but that was very purposeful because I also realized that the strength that I bring for her is to look around the corners. You know, it's really the strategy, you know, for the business. It's supporting her with the finance. I mean, on all the other stuff that needs to happen there. Let her run the operations. That's a strength. I mean, Lauret is a standard operating procedure. Like, right, everything has to be in order. I mean, you know, I don't think there's a Scooter's Coffee shop in the entire United States that is more organized than the rest. There's not. I mean, it is. Everything is labeled. Everything is clean. Everything is. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, like, so. I mean, I used to tell people, you will not walk to our house if you ever been not in order. You can come anytime. It's always in order. The kids have been trained. This is exactly how things are going to be, right?
You take something, you put it right back.
You put it exactly. So, but you know,
everything has a place.
Everything has a place. But I mean, that's not the way I function. That's not the way I operate. So we've kind of learned to figure out what we are good at, what she's good at, and we just we
allow
play.
Each person,
and then sometimes and when there is, I mean, you kind of go, okay, well, I mean, if it's a mistake, it's easy. I mean, we can walk it back. We can make another decision. It's not a big deal. A lot of
the friction too also comes when the other person tries to step into what the other person is like good at. Because I'm like, okay, you are high level. You're, you know, taking care of the stuff up there. I'm in the store. I understand what I'm doing. But then sometimes he doesn't get it because he'll try to make decisions and do things. But I'm like, no.
Or not consult her. I should consult her.
Because I'm the one in the store. I know what's going on. Right. I see it differently. Like,
the operational stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to talk through it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my days. So, babe.
I'm learning. Listen, guys, this has been a wonderful... I've just sat back and just tried to soak up a whole lot from you guys, from Tosin's mom and how she brought you into the family, to your sisters, your siblings, and your brother
and
too,
my brother,
and the whole dynamic, and Grandpa now being closer to you guys and actually being in your lives on a daily basis. That all of that is a blessing, and I know that our viewers have a lot to learn in this conversation, right? I'm learning a lot. Tosin, I know you.
Oh, I've been excited. I've been looking forward to having you guys. Like, honestly, I've been looking forward to having them. Like, they're busy, and I knew y'all before all of this,
right?
And to see the transition, I've just given y'all the space you need, you know, because I know that it's been a uphill battle, but I'm so excited to see where you guys are now, and I'm just grateful to God because I know the story about you wanting the coffee shop because that was even before you even went into Scooters. That was something when you were still working at Pepsi, I think was when you mentioned Dr. Pepper, that's when you mentioned that he actually wanted to open a coffee shop, and for God to now bring it and it's ended up in full circle. Just amazing. You guys are just a blessing, like blessing upon blessing upon blessing.
And shameless plug, I mean, where are these?
Yes, please, where is this cup? You guys, if their driveway is not full, if you're in the DFW area, I will
area.
cry.
Tell
All
us
right,
the
so
locations.
our three
Where? Tell us about it.
locations, we have one in Frisco, one in Louisville, and the baby one in Bridgeport. And I say baby because that was our first, I guess, our flagship, so to say. But stop by, come see us. We would love to
What's the
serve
brand?
you. What's the
Brand.
What's your
What's the
coffee
name?
shop?
Oh, Scooter's Coffee Shop.
We're
Oh, I thought I said that earlier when we first started. Yeah,
Guys.
Scooter's
We're gonna
Coffee
tag
Shop.
them. I think it's Scooters.Texas for you guys, right?
Yes,
On
our
Instagram.
Instagram page is
Instagram page.
scooters.texas. But
Yes.
yes, please search those locations up on Google for Louisville, Frisco, and Bridgeport. If you're ever in the area, anywhere around those surrounding areas.
Tell them,
stop by
hey, I
and
found
see
y'all
us.
on Insync.
There you go. Well,
Say
thank you
hello.
guys so
No,
much.
this has been awesome.
so
So,
much.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
coming.
This has
Thanks
been
for having us.
amazing. Yay! So with that being said, you guys, let's hear it. What you guys want to talk about with in-laws? I know you have a lot to say, so let's hear about it. Questions about in-laws.
Comments.
Yes. There's always going to be something. Comments. Follow us. Like, subscribe, share, all of the above on all of the platforms. And till next time, it's bye.
Bye.